When I'm drawing diagrams in either PowerPoint or in Google Slides, often I want to create a perfectly regular shape like a circle or a square or a perfectly straight line. You can do this really easily just by holding a key on the keyboard, and that's what I'm going to show you here. Starting off in PowerPoint, I'm going to insert some shapes and make sure that they are perfectly regular, even when I resize them. So from the Home tab, I can get to shapes, and I could pick up one of these rectangles or ovals. And if I choose, let's choose the rectangle to start with. If I was just to click rather than click and drag, that does draw a perfect square anyway. If I was to click and drag, then I'd have to be a bit careful to make sure that it is a perfect square. When you're drawing a rectangle or an oval or a line and you want to ensure that it is perfectly regular, you just need to hold the Shift key on your keyboard. So this is already a regular shape, but if I try and resize it, it can easily distort it. If, however, I resize it whilst holding the Shift key on the keyboard, it will keep it as a perfect square. So this works for lots of different shapes, really. It'd be useful for something like this even, where if I just click and drag without the Shift key, it's not going to be a perfectly regular shape, but if I hold the Shift key, then it is perfectly round. Likewise with lines. If I want to draw a line or an arrow, I just choose this one. If I hold the Shift key while I click and drag, I know it's going to be perfectly straight. This is the same in Google Slides. If I switch into Google Slides and go to the Shapes option here, like with PowerPoint, if I know I want a perfect square or perfect circle, I could choose the rectangle tool or the oval tool, and rather than clicking and dragging, I could just click. That does give me that perfect circle. But when I want to resize it, I will hold the Shift key so that it keeps it as a perfect circle. Let's choose one more shape here. So let's go for the rectangle. So this time I'm going to switch on the rectangle. Rather than just clicking on the slide, get a perfect square, I'll click and drag so I can get it the right size from the outset. And while doing this, I'm going to hold the Shift key on the keyboard. I hope that was a useful tip for you. Please let me know. And if you do have any questions or you're interested in PowerPoint or Google Slides training for you or your team, please do get in touch.